Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Wednesday, March 6, 2024. Today I'm going to recap college basketball, NBA, NHL, spring training, soccer, some reality TV, and then obviously news and notes and best bet. We'll start in college basketball. We are only going to do results for games of note and then the conference tournaments because of time. So, that's that. Patriot League first round, Holy Cross over Army, 84-68. Sunbelt first round, Coastal Carolina over Yale Monroe, 75-71. Number 3, Purdue over number 12, Illinois, 77-71. Number 7, North Carolina over Notre Dame, 81-51. Florida over number 16, Alabama, 105-87. Number 24, South Florida over Tulane, 85-72. Patriot League first round, Navy over Loyola, Maryland, 64-48. Horizon League first round, Cleveland State over IUPUI, 85-66. Horizon League first round, Purdue Fort Wayne over Robert Morris, 78-63. ASUN quarterfinal, Jacksonville over Eastern Kentucky, 67-65. ASUN quarterfinal, Stetson over Queens, 83-71. Virginia Tech over Louisville, 80-64. Clemson over Syracuse, 90-75. Providence over Georgetown, 71-58. Georgia over Ole Miss, 69-66. Duquesne over VCU, 69-59. Horizon League first round, Milwaukee over Detroit, 83-79. ASUN quarterfinal, Lost to P over North Florida, 101-98 in OT. ASUN quarterfinal, North Alabama over Lipscomb, 77-75. Texas Tech over Oklahoma State, 75-58. Oklahoma over Cincinnati, 74-71 in OT. Sunbelt first round, Texas State over Old Dominion, 92-83 in OT. Number 13, Auburn over Missouri, 101-74. Number 14, Kansas, 90-68. Number 25, Dayton over St. Louis, 183. Georgia Tech over Wake, 76-9. Pitt over Florida State, 88-73. St. John's over DePaul, 104-77. UNLV over number 21, San Diego State, 60-58. Nevada over Boise, 76-66. All right, today's games. 6:30 Fox Sports 1, Villanova, Seton Hall, minus Seton Hall 2.8, and it's 1.5, 1-3, 1.5 over. Number 1, Houston, UCF. My line is Houston 10.6, and it is Houston by 8.5, total 130.5. I'll lay the points. Number 4, Tennessee. Number 17, South Carolina, ESPN 2. My line is Tennessee 1.5, and it's 5.5, 139.5. I'll take South Carolina and the points. Northeast first round or quarterfinal, San Fran, PA, Central Con. My line Central Con 17.7, total 138 and a quarter. And it's 13.5 and 135.5. I'm gonna lay the points with Central Con. Northeast quarterfinal, IU Merrimack. My line is Merrimack 13.8, total 138 and 3/4. And it is 14.5 and 138.5. Very close. Slightly in LIU. Wagner Sacred Heart. My line is Sacred Heart 8 1/4, total 136 and 13/20. And it's 4.5 and 132.5. That's a hard one, but I'm going to take the over. Fairleigh Dickinson, Lemoyne, Northeast quarterfinal. My line is Dickinson by 3/4, so 147 1/4. And it's Lemoyne 3.5, total 150.5. I'm taking Dickinson plus the points in the money line. BC, Miami. My line's Miami by 5. That game's on ESPNU. My line is 5.5, or it is 5.5 and 151.5. Over. TCU, West Virginia. My line is TCU 5.3, and it's 5.5 and 152.5. I'll take the over 2. Rice, Charlotte. My line is Charlotte 8 1/4, and it's 7.5 and 134.5. I like the over. Northwestern, Sparty, Big Ten Network. My line is Sparty 2.2. And it is 8.5, 136.5. Oh my God, I'm taking Northwestern in the points. LSU, Arkansas, SEC Network. My line is Arkansas 3.7. And it's 3.5, 156.5. I like the under. Loyola, Chicago, Davidson. My line is Loyola, Chicago 6.3, and it is Davidson 1.5, total 135. Oh my God, that's ridiculous. Give me Little Chicago plus 1.5 and minus 106 outright. George Mason, Rhode Island. My line's George Mason 3.5. And we have 3.5, 143.5 over. St. Bonaventure, George Washington. My line's Bonaventure 4.9. And it's 7.5, 148.5. I'll take Washington in the points. St. Joe's, Richmond. My line's Richmond by 7. And it's 5.5, 144.5. I'll take the over. OVC first round, 7:30. Southern Indiana, Tennessee State. My line's Tennessee State 11.3 to 142. And 13/20. And it's 2.5, 144.5. Ooh, that's really low. I'm lining it with Tennessee State. CBS Sports Network, Xavier Butler. My line is Butler 1 3/4, 2.5, 155.5 under. Fordham, UMass. My line's UMass 6.2. It's 10.5, 145.5. I'll take Fordham in the points. Big South first round, Radford, SC Upstate. My line is Radford by 4, it's 144 in the 10th. It's 4.5, 139.5 over. ECU, SMU. My line is SMU 7.2. And it is 12.5, 141.5. I'm taking ECU in the points. FAU, North Texas. My line's FAU 4.1. It's 1.5, 136.5. I'm laying the points. McNeese, New Orleans. My line is McNeese 14.8, and it's 18.5, 153.5. I'll take New Orleans in the points. Houston Christian, Lamar. My line is Lamar by 11. It's 16.5, 156.5. I'll take Christian in the points. 8:30 Fox Sports 1. Number 2, UConn. Number 8, Marquette. Game of the night. My line's UConn by 7/10. And it's 5.5, 159.5. I'm taking Marquette in the points at home. Incarnate Word, A&M Corpus Christi. Men's Corpus Christi 16.9. It's 14.5, 147.5. I like the points. Northwestern State A&M Commerce. My line is Commerce 3.5, and it's 3.5 and 140.5. I'll take the over. 9 o'clock ESPN 2, number 20 BYU, number 6 Iowa State. Mine's Iowa State 7.3. And it's 6.5, 146.5. I'll take the over. Vandy, number 15 Kentucky, SEC Network. Mine's Kentucky 17.8 and 17.5, 116.5 on there. That's too high. Big Ten Network, Indiana, Minnesota. Mine's Minnesota by 2. 5.5, 149.5. Can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm taking the Indiana 5.5. Miss State A&M, ESPNU, my line's A&M 1.5, and it is 1.5, 139.5. I'll take the over. 9:30 CBS Sports Arc, number 22 Utah State, San Jose State. My line is Utah State 10.9, and it's 10.5, 145.5. We'll do under. OVC first round, 10 o'clock. Eastern Illinois, SIU, Edwardsville. Mine's Edwardsville 6.7, 138.5. It's 2.5 and 140.5. I'm in the points with Edwardsville. 10:30 Fox Sports 1, Fresno State, New Mexico. Mine's New Mexico 13.25. And it's 17.5 and 151.5. I'll take Fresno in the points. And last but not least, Northridge, Hawaii at midnight. Mine's Hawaii 5.4. And it's 6.5 and 146.5. I'll take the over. Okay, now we'll move on to the NBA. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight's slate, which is smaller than last night's. Magic over the Hornets, 101-89. Cavs over the Celtics, 105-104. Nets over the Sixers, 112-107. Heat over the Pistons, 118-110. Hawks over the Knicks, 116-100. Pelicans over the Raptors, 139-98. Rockets over the Spurs, 114-101. Pacers over the Mavs, 137-120. And the Suns over the Nuggets, 117-107 in overtime. All right, tonight's game, 7 o'clock, Magic Wizards. My line is the Magic 11 3/4, fell to 30, and the 20th, and it is 8 and 224. Over. 7:30 Cavs Hawks. Mine's the Hawks 4.5, total 233 and a fifth, and it's 3 and 214.5. I absolutely adore the over. Grizzlies Sixers. Mine's the Sixers 3 and 3/4, so 224 and 7/10, and it's 6 and 209 over. ESPN Clippers Rockets. Good on the Rockets for getting an ESPN game. Mine's the Clippers 2 3/4, still 227 and 13/20, and it's 6.5 and 224.5. That's a tough one. But I'm actually going to take the Rockets getting the points. Bulls Jazz at 9. My line is the Bulls 2 3/4, still 281 and 9/20, and it's 4 and 223.5 over. Bucks Warriors on ESPN at 10. My line's the Warriors by 1, total 237 and a 20th. And it's 4.5 and 226.5 over. Thunder Blazers. My line is the Thunder 13 3/4, total 228 and 3/4. And it's 12.5 and 223.5. That's another over. And last but not least, 10:30 Kings Lakers. My line is the Lakers 2 1/4, total 235 and a 5th. And it's 3.5 and 236.5. So for this one, I'm actually going to go with the under. All right, NHL. We'll go over the results from yesterday. Let's head to tonight's slate. Panthers over the Devils 5-3. Pens over the Jackets 5-3. So best bet won easily. Whalers over the Bruins 2-1 in OT. Isles over the Blues 4-2. Habs over the Preds 4-3 in OT. Kraken over the Jets 4-3. Blackhawks over the Coyotes 5-2. Canucks over the Kings 2-1 in OT. Stars over the Sharks 7-6 in OT. All right, 3 games, 7 o'clock TNT. Sabres, Leafs. The Leafs are probably like minus 200 favorite. No, minus 188. The Sabres are plus 155 over under 6.5. Overs minus 114. Unders minus 106. Sabres plus 1.5 is minus 150. Leafs minus 1.5 is plus 25. I like the over. 9:30 TNT. Red Wings, Avs. Avs minus 10. Red Wings plus 172 over under 6.5. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. Red Wings plus 1.5 is minus 137. Avs minus 1.5 is plus 114. Over. And then last but not least, 10 o'clock, Sens, Ducks. Sens minus 150. Ducks plus 125. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. Sens minus 1.5 is plus 150. Ducks plus 1.5 is minus 182. This is a tough one, but I'm going to take the Ducks outright at plus 125. Now I'm going to go over the baseball results from yesterday with the spring training and look ahead to today. Mets over the Yanks 5-4. O's over the Phils 3-2. Braves over the Tigers 3-0. Marlins over the Astros 2-0. Cards over the Twins 5-4. Red Sox over the Rays 7-4. Pirates over the Jays 6-5. Giants over the Brewers 13-8. Guardians over the Mariners 4-1. D-backs over the Padres 5-3. Rangers over the Mariners 10-9. Royals over the Cubs 4-0. Angels over the Dodgers 4-0. And then today, 1 o'clock, Rays, Yankees, Red Sox, Twins, Mets, Astros, Nats, Marlins, Angels, Cubs at 3. Dodgers, White Sox, Brewers, Reds, Mariners, Royals, Reds, Padres, Guardians, Brewers, A's, Angels, Rangers, Rockies, and 6 o'clock, Pirates, O's. Okay, now move on to soccer. We will go over the results of note from yesterday and look ahead to today's notable soccer games. Champions League. Bayern over Lazio 3-0. They advance 3-1 on aggregate. And PSG over Real Sociedad 2-1. And they advance 4-1 on aggregate. All right, today 3 o'clock, you have Man City and Copenhagen. Man City leads 3-1 on aggregate. You would think Man City is going to be like a 5-1 favorite or something like that. Maybe as high as 7-1 or 750. They're minus 10,000 to advance. They're minus 850 favorites for the game. Copenhagen's 19-1. The draws plus 850. Let's go over 3.5 goals at minus 110. And then 3 o'clock, Real Madrid and RP Leipzig. Madrid's minus 1,800 to advance. Leipzig's plus 880. But the money lines, Madrid's minus 180, Leipzig's plus 440. The draws plus 360. We will go over 3.5 goals again at plus, was it plus 140? Yes. All right. Next will be EFLC. Blackburn, Millwall 1-1 draw. Coventry over Rotherham 5-0. Hull, Birmingham 1-1 draw. Leeds over Stoke 1-0. Sheffield Wednesday over Plymouth 1-0. Leicester over Sunderland 1-0. Ipswich over Bristol City 3-2. 5 games today. 2:45 you have Cardiff and Huddersfield. Just gonna pull that up real quickly. Cardiff's plus 140, Huddersfield's 2-1, the draw's plus 210. So for this one, Cardiff plus 140. I don't know why they're that big of, or that short of a favorite. Middlesbrough and Norwich City. Norwich is plus 190. Middlesbrough is plus 130. The draw's plus 250. I'm going to go with the draw here at plus 250. Southampton, Preston. Southampton's minus 260. Preston 6-1. The draw's plus 380. I like over 3.5 goals at plus 144. Watford, Swansea. Watford plus 120. Swansea plus 220. Draw plus 240. Tough one. But let's go with the draw at plus 240. And at 3 o'clock, QPR West Brom. West Brom plus 145, QPR plus 210. The draw's 2-1. Whoa. Let's go with West Brom plus 145. There's a couple I like in ELC, so not out of the question for best bet those couple games. All right, CONCACAF. First, Herediano over Robin Hood 2-0. Philly Pachuca was a 0-0 draw at the time of recording. Orlando Tigres 0-0 draw. All right, tonight at 6 o'clock, New England and Alajuelense. New England's minus 10. Alajuelense is plus 490. The draw's plus 310. New England's a big favorite at home. I like under 2.5 goals plus 118. 8 o'clock, Houston, Columbus. Houston's plus 145. Columbus plus 155. The draw's plus 240. The Crew just won the Cup. They're motivated, plus 155. The case for Houston is Columbus is tired all these games. And 10 o'clock is Guadalajara, America. Guadalajara plus 170. America plus 140. Draw plus 230. I like the draw here at plus 230. And I think we have Premiership. But it's like a I thought we did have because I thought I saw Celtic on the schedule for today, but I guess I did not. Oops. So nothing really of significance for soccer. All right, The Masked Singer premieres tonight, 8 o'clock on Fox. No more We Are Family, but we still have to talk about what happened in the finale of that show. We'll get to that hopefully sometime soon. So it's the 11th season. Something new that is going on is that Rita Ora will be joining the the panel. So it's going to be 5. She was a judge on the UK version. And then she was a coach on The Voice Australia. So this was announced in September. So this is a pretty big deal. That she's going to be subbing in for Nicole Scherzinger. As Scherzinger signed up to star in London's West End. So, she'll join Ken, Jenny, and Robin. So Scherzinger is going to London for the revival of Sunset Boulevard. So she's doing a movie. So that's a big loss for the Masked Singer. I mean, we'll see how Rita does. But I think that's the biggest story of the season, that Nicole won't be there and Rita's going to replace her for the season. But Nicole was the best panelist over the past several years. I mean, Robin probably had that title in the beginning, but I think Nicole just was so good. But we'll see how this changes. It's not going to be the same without her. But I made a list of 20 people that I think could be on the show this season. All right. So here we go. Zach Brown, country singer. Sam Champion, news anchor. Kelly Clarkson, former American Idol winner and talk show host. Ashanti Douglas, as known as Ashanti, who's a singer. Jacob Elordi, actor. Kathy Griffin, comedian and actress. Lewis Hamilton, Formula One driver. Jim Harbaugh, football coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. Derek Huff, Dancing with the Stars. Sean Kingston, singer. Kylie Minogue, singer. Abby Wambach, former soccer player. Oprah Winfrey, former talk show host. And then the double, I have politicians Andrew Yang and Christine Todd Whitman, as they are the co-leaders of the Forward Party. And last but not least, in honor of the late Matthew Perry, Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, and David Schwimmer all together as a five-some. And everybody's going to know right away, and they're only going to last like 2 episodes. So there you have it. Season 11 predictions for The Masked Singer. My regret is that Nicole's going to be a contestant too, and we're going to be lost. And we're going to be like, how did we miss that? Just like how did we miss it with Nick Cannon when he had COVID and Niecy Nash filled in. Niecy Nash, did we talk about Niecy Nash recently? I don't recall. But, let's see if we did bring that up. No. Or we did. We did bring that up. She was on We Are Family. The episode before the finale she was on. So, yeah, we did talk about DC Nash on We Are Family. But yeah, she filled in for Nick. And then Nick had COVID, and Nick ended up as a contestant on the show. Although Anthony Anderson should have filled in for Nick Cannon. He was so good at We Are Family. And there was a curveball in the finale of We Are Family, which we'll talk about when we get to it. And Survivor. It was a good premiere episode. For the first week. So, obviously the 18 players come together. And then the Road Challenge was in pairs. They raced under the net and tunneled through sand underneath the wooden beam before collecting large puzzle pieces and returning to the mat. And once every player collected their piece, the tribes used them to build a 3-dimensional block puzzle, which they stood on top of up to retrieve a stick off the pole. And the first tribe to finish won the flint and the others supplies immediately, while the second tribe to finish had their choice of either savvy or sweat to compete for their supplies, leaving the last tribe with whatever was not chosen. The Nami tribe won the challenge and gained their supplies. Siga, the second tribe to finish, chose the Savvy. Yanu did Sweat. Jelinski and Q were chosen for Sweat for Yanu, which was bad. And then Jelinski literally quit with more than half their time left, and he literally smashed the hourglass, which was not appropriate. And then at Sega, Ben and Charlie also failed that Savvy with the word scramble. And then date 2, the tribes had to choose one person to go on the journey. Jelinski from Yanu. Maria went from Sega, and then Tevin went from Nami. And they were taken to a beach where they had to draw a card and try to convince the torch card holder that they were holding the vote card. And then Maria drew the torch card. Jelinski had the skull. Tried to convince Maria, but gave up quickly and forfeited his vote at Tribal. And then Maria and Tevin gained the extra vote advantage. And then came immunity as the tribes raced up the ramp to unite a huge dummy Geico, lifting it over a barricade before dragging it through a tunnel and hauling it to the top of a platform and putting it into its place. And then once at the top, the players had to unlock puzzle pieces, which they used to build a large Survivor 46 puzzle. The first 2 tribes finished with immunity, while the losing tribe had to forfeit their foot and go to Tribal. Nami won it, and then Sega came in second, and then Yanu went to the first Tribal. And then after returning to their camp, Jess said that she wasn't confident in her performance. Jelinski was nervous but felt confident that he'd be staying. Oh my God. The rest of Yanu were split on what they wanted to do, knowing that Jelinski has been poor, but his potential was higher than Jess's. But at Tribal, Jelinski obviously didn't have a vote, and Jelinski was the unanimous one to go home, as he should have been. We did the superlatives on last week's episode after the show, so the last Thursday's podcast. So if you want to hear my predictions for tonight's show, go back to Thursday's podcast episode. Okay, news and notes. A lot of news and notes today. Just like yesterday, we're going to do rapid fire. The Cowboys pick up Micah Parsons' option as they save $3 million by classifying him as defensive end over linebacker. That's funny. Joey Chestnut performed at a halftime show last night. 39 pierogies in 2 minutes. Oh my God. That's disgusting. Josh Allen is in Paris as his post went viral. Jason Kelce jumps onto a flaming table. Calvin Ridley likely to be a free agent after the team placed the franchise tag on Josh Allen. The Dolphins met with Jonnu Smith. That would be a good fit. The Seahawks cut 3 players, Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs, and Will Dissly, which saves them $35.5 million. Did I pick Jamal Adams to be cut? I think I did. Dalton Schultz stays with the Texans, 3 years, $36 million. That's a great thing for the Houston Texans. He was one of the big targets for C.J. Stroud. Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs top the running back market as Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift, and Tony Pollard are seen as next wave of free agents. Michael Penix Jr. is moving up draft boards as he's trending towards being first-round pick after the combine. The Giants did not use the transition tag on Xavier McKinney. Saquon wants to stay with the Giants if the price is right. But the favorites to land Saquon Barkley is the Houston Texans. And That would be an upgrade over what they currently have. The Capitals trade Anthony Manta to the Vegas Golden Knights. I think that's a decent trade for Vegas. So Jalen Brunson's MRI comes back clean. He has a knee contusion, but did not play last night against the Hawks. Tyrese Maxey missed the Sixers game against the Nets as he's experiencing concussion-like symptoms. That's not great. So Dartmouth's men's college basketball to unionize as the first ever college program to unionize after a 13-2 vote. And the NCAA's response is, organization believes players should not be forced into an employment model. And then the Kansas Jayhawks broke out retros for their senior night. Arch Manning waiting to be QB1 for EA as he wanted to wait until he was the guy before joining the video game. Isaiah Thomas is joining the G League as he wants to play for, or he's going to play for the Salt Lake City Stars as he has to return to the NBA. So that's interesting. The Heat are to sign Patty Mills. Patty Mills, obviously an NBA champion with experience. Don't hate that signing for Miami. MLB's number one pitching prospect, Paul Skenes, to start in the minors as he will not be on the Pirates opening day roster. Emma Hayes' women's national team debut will be June 1st against South Korea, so that's the new manager of the U.S. women's national team. Jaden Daniels denies the Pats rumor as he pushes back on report his camp doesn't want him in New England. So there you have it for the news and notes. Last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. This one really jumped out at me in college basketball. I think Michigan State has been an overvalued team all season long in the betting market. And I'm going to bet against them probably for the multiple time. I'm going to go lay a 20th of a unit on Northwestern plus the 8.5. Against Michigan State plus 8.5 minus 102. I don't know if they'll win outright, but I think that Chris Collins' team stays within the number of 8.5. That's way too many points for Michigan State to give me. So I'm taking Northwestern plus 8.5 minus 102 against Sparty for my best bet of the day. So there you have it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything and look ahead to everything tomorrow. So tomorrow I think will be a long show. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.